Hey everybody, welcome back to New York Yankees Recaps. Today is day 52, I think, since they shut down baseball and since we all had to lock down for the coronavirus, so I thought I would hop on and answer a few of your questions. Okay, so this first question is from Shulem Banda. He asks, would a short season title be legit? I think he means that if the season is shortened, would the title still be looked at as legitimate for whoever wins it, hopefully the Yankees? I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, whether you play 162 games or whether you play 80 games or 60 games, if you play 20 games, every team presumably has the same amount of games to play, and every team has the same chance, the same opportunity to win a championship. You could even make the argument that it's more competitive because you've got less games, so it becomes more of a sprint than a marathon. There's that old phrase, baseball is a marathon, not a sprint, because it's 162 games in 180 days. So a lot of times teams will start off hot, for a couple months, but then by August, they're nowhere to be found. But let's say, sake of argument, you've got an 80-game season, maybe a 100-game season. That's a sprint. That's a 100-game sprint where every team has got a shot. There's that old phrase in baseball. Everybody's going to win 50 games. Everybody's going to lose 50 games. It's what you do with the other 62 games that makes all the difference. Well, that can be thrown right out the window this year. Also, every single team wants to get to the postseason this year, which is going to be expanded. They haven't quite elaborated on how that's going to look now, but it sounds like there's going to be a couple of different wild cards from each division with the 3 different divisions. But every single team wants to make the playoffs. Why? Because by the time you get to the playoffs, you're going to have fans in the seats. Now, it might not be packed stadiums, might not be 55, 60,000 people. Not that many stadiums hold that much anyway. But you might get 15 to 30,000 people per playoff game. And that's a lot of money for these owners, especially when their gate income, the money they get from tickets, has been decimated all season because they're not planning on having fans when baseball returns. They're already doing this in other countries, South Korea, Japan, no fans in the stands. So it's going to be a very interesting season. I think everybody's got a shot. Therefore, I think the title would be legit. And I hope the Yankees can bring it home to New York because right now New York could use something like that. This next question is from James Ciala. Do you think we will get good production from players like Stanton, Judge, and Paxton? And it's going to come down to health. Right? Every time that Stanton has been healthy, he's been productive. Every time that Judge has been healthy, he's been productive. And in recent years, when James Paxton has been healthy, he's been productive. Unfortunately, with guys like Judge and Stanton, you got to worry about the injuries. I don't know if it's something about how big they are. They're just so huge. You would think that proportionally, they would have about the same amount of injuries as any normal-sized human being, but maybe being that big, just puts more stress on your joints, your tendons. I don't know if your tendons get stronger as you put on more weight with size, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but it seems like whenever these guys are healthy, they produce. So I got no reason to think that they won't produce. The question is, are they healthy? Can they stay healthy? Is there something about these guys that makes them injury prone? I just don't know. And the last question, what's the single key point for the Yankees to succeed? I don't know if there is a single key point. As a team, it's a team sport. A lot of things have to go right for the Yankees to succeed. And I think they'll have success. They'll have some level of success. I don't know if they'll win the championship, but they will have some level of success because they've got some of the best players in the league and some of the best facilities in the league, especially if you're playing in Florida. I don't know how that's all going to work out, but I'd say if there was one thing that's more important than anything else, it's keeping everybody healthy. Last year, it was injuries that pretty much derailed the season. We lost Giancarlo Stanton. We lost Aaron Judge. We lost Luis Severino, Dellin Betances. Imagine if we had those guys. And this year, we should have most of them. We'll see how long the season is, but if you keep everybody healthy, this team's going to be just fine.